Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Miss Brianne, and welcome to another video of our Artful Calligraphy series. The series where I teach you the art style of beautiful lettering. In today's video, we're going to do what you've been waiting for all these weeks. We are going to do our second art project. Does that sound like fun? Well, in our first art project, I taught you three letters: the lowercase letter M, the lowercase letter A, and the lowercase letter N. If you put those three lowercase letters together, you got the word man. And we used the word man for our first art project. And in that art project, I taught you how to use contrasting colors and how to do basic designs with the watercolor markers. Today, we're going to use those elements, so we're going to do contrasting colors again and basic marker designs, but we're going to expand upon that. I'm also going to teach you how to blend contrasting colors, and I'm going to teach you how to add white designs with a gel pen. Alright, are we ready to begin? Okay, let's get started. Alright, so we have our paper and we've prepared our guidelines. If you need help in learning how to set up your guidelines, go to the first art project video. So I taught you a series of words in our first group of lowercase letters. And today you get to choose one of those words that you learned and use it in your art project. I am going to use the word win. So you ready to see how to do this? Now there's one way you can write the word win on a piece of paper. The first is to do the set of guidelines, like I showed you how to do that for an art project in the last art project video. So you use your guidelines and you write the word win. So, W, I, N. Dot the I. So one way you could do it is use your lighter color marker, write the word win, then erase the guidelines and get started. Or what you can do is take a dark colored marker, and you will need a dark colored marker, otherwise you're not going to be able to see. Write the word with your guidelines. So I'm going to write the word win here. And for this, you should set up guidelines as well, so you make sure know it's straight. But you write your word in dark marker. So let me get rid of these for a second. So you take your dark marker and write. Then you put a blank piece of paper over that. And make sure it's thin enough, and make sure if you use Lav Light, or if you have a light box, that works great, so you can see it. Then you can take your light marker and write your word. And just follow as best you can. So that's two ways to do that. And with this way, you can make as many copies as you want, and you don't have to worry about erasing guidelines. So you can either do it this way or do it over guidelines. If you use guidelines, erase your guidelines when you're done. Alright, so give me a minute here. So, I usually like to say wait an hour or so for the marker to dry before you move on to the next step. And this is very important, because if you do all these steps while wet, it will bleed together, or it will ruin the paper because it's too damp. So the next thing you do, like I showed you in the previous art video, is add your contrasting color. I'm using orange for my light and red for my dark. But when I told you to put a lot in the first one, I'm going to have you put very little in the second one. And I'm going to explain why. And then you'd like to wait for that to dry before you do anything else. So, now we have our contrasting colors, we're going to blend them. And there's 3 ways you can do this. The first way is to take your light colored marker and go over the ends of your dark color and just push it upward. See how I'm doing that? And as I mentioned before, it's much better if you let it dry. And again, right over here. So you just use your light color and go over your dark. And I know it may stain your light color a minute, but just run it through a blank piece of paper and it'll bleed right out. So don't worry about ruining your markers. That's one way. Another way, if you get a certain type of marker like Tombow, it comes with these things called, it looks like a clear marker, it's called a blendy stick. It has chemicals in it that allow the color to blend. So just like your light color marker, you take your blendy stick and run it through the dark color. And again, it bleeds right out. I am not too crazy about this method because it doesn't blend nearly as well. But if you're worried about ruining your light color markers and you want to use the blendy stick, that's fine. And last but not least, this here is called a water brush. It's basically just a clear brush with a little reservoir for holding water. You can use this and blend your colors that way. Now, I would not recommend using the water brush on plain paper like I'm doing. The best way to use this type of brush is on watercolor paper. And again, it'll bleed right out, so don't worry about ruining the tip. But those are basically the 3 ways in which you can blend the contrasting colors. In my opinion, the best way to do it is using your light colored marker. Alright, so we blended our colors. And also, I may have blended this while wet. Let's see if we have better luck if it dries. So as you can see, it blends a little bit better when it's dry. Like I said, with your water brush, it's best if you do it use it on watercolor paper. This type of paper, it's so thin that it will ruin the paper. But in my opinion, the best way to do this is with the lighter color marker. So, now that we blended our contrasting colors, we're going to do our decorations. So I already blended my colors in. So I'm going to take my dark color marker and I'm going to put some designs in. Let's do some dots over here. And if you didn't notice already, I'm a big fan of dots. some dots over here. But you can do whatever you want. You could do swirlies. You can add a little heart. Let's add a little heart here. Anything you want. This is your project. I'm going to add my designs here. And you just use your dark marker to add your designs in your lighter areas or outside. And I'm just going to put a little dot right, swirly right over here. Like I said, it's your project. And then, what you're going to do is, if you have a white gel pen, you're going to take your white gel pen, and in your darker areas, you're going to add white designs. And it may take a little bit for it to go through. And sometimes drawing from this angle is a bit tricky. There we go. And when don't be surprised if you don't see it right away. It's still damp, so it's going to fade in a little bit, but once it dries, you'll really see the design. And just keep adding your designs. And you don't have to use dots. You can use stars, you can use slanty lines, you can use curly cues, stars, hearts, whatever you want. This is your project. There we go. So, that's how you add your white highlighted designs. And if you don't have a gel pen, you can use whiteout and a toothpick, and it works just as well. Now I'm using Artful gel pens, but if you have any type of white gel pen, it will work just as well. So that's how you add your white highlighted designs on your darker parts of your project. So, and that's what you do for your second art project. Let me know how it turns out. Now before we go, I have a special surprise for you. I just wanted to show you something that I got for Christmas. This is right over here, a glass pen set. And this set is wonderful. You could decorate a lot of your art projects with this. It comes with this glass pen over here and 12 different colored inks. And I'll show you what the glass pen looks like. So this is my glass pen right over here. Isn't it amazing? Now I'm going to draw some designs on it. See what ink I want to use. Let me try this coppery ink. I think it's an orangey coppery ink. So I'm dipping my pen in the ink. And I'm just going to doodle on it. How about that? Does that look cool or what? And I can even write my name on it. And it lasts a while too. I could go through a lot of this and not have to re-dip for a while. A couple of dotty patterns, swirls, lines. It's great, isn't it? Looks like fun, huh? These were on Amazon. I think the last time I checked, they were $25, $30. The price may have changed since then. But that is the glass pen set. And you just completed your second art project. So everybody give yourselves a round of applause. And that is it for our first group of lowercase letters and words. In our next video, we're going to do the second set of lowercase letters. And in our next video, we're going to start with the lowercase letter O. So take good care of yourselves, enjoy the rest of your day, have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.